Welcome back to my channel, Dr. Koya Ebasi. The other three skills that helped me to migrate, that changed my life and helped me to migrate from an employee to become an employer of labor is let you understand the skill of allowing or making sure that people pay you for your services before you render them. It's a skill. The second one is let's turn your time into money. Turn your time into money. It's a skill. Then the third one is that use dump money. Now, these are the three skills I'm going to discuss in this second part of this video. Now, let's take number one. So let them pay you for your services before you render them. Now, it is a common thing in this part of Africa that whenever you render services before payment, it becomes a problem for people to pay you for your services. Now, take for example, there was somebody that contacted me that please, I have some challenges there is some agricultural venture I want to go into, but I have some challenges. Can you help me? And I said, personally myself, I don't have the time, but I can recommend a young man for you that will help you handle your services. So I now recommend another young man from the Ministry of Agriculture to help her solve her agricultural problems. Now, when this young man went there, the young man have an agreement with her. They priced and agreed on a certain fee. Now, after the board, the young man have rendered the service. Now, to pay the young man is a problem. And the young man now called me to complain that, look at the woman you recommend for me. Now I have rendered the services, to pay me is a problem. Now, if you don't charge and collect your money before rendering the services, you are donating your life. That is what it means. In my fashion shop, initially when I started, because we are looking for customers, we used to render the services. We will sew your clothes without deposit. We just bring your clothes, we will sew for you, and then when you come, you pay for it. Then we come to observe that sometimes you will sew these clothes for 6 months, the owner have not come to collect it. 3 months, the owner have not come to collect it. Some of them have become abandoned property in the shop. They have abandoned their clothes. They have not come back to collect them. And now you have spent your money to buy fuel, spent your money to pay tailors, other accessories just to make these clothes ready. And the owner does not come to collect it. Some of them, they have abandoned it, or they have traveled out, or maybe they have forgotten about it. Now, if you continue like that, what you are doing is that you are donating your life. Businesses don't work like that. You need to understand this key to ensure that you are able to convince your customers to pay you before you render the services. When we understand that this is what we are doing, it's like we are donating our life in this business. We decided to change the narrative, and we'll now make it compulsory that whenever you are bringing clothing material for us to sew for you, if we are going to sew your material, then you must deposit 50% of the charge. So when you bring your clothes and you deposit 50% of your charge, we'll now make your clothes for you. But if you don't deposit anything, your clothes will remain there. When you come, you deposit, we'll pay, then we'll now make your clothes for you. Now, this is a skill that we need to acquire, because initially, because we are looking for customers, we are just running and we are running at a loss. It will be very difficult for you to run a business, for you to render services before you are paid. So you need to learn this skill. This is one skill that has really helped us to migrate as an employee to an employer of labor. Now, the second skill is that it's good that you turn your time into money. Now, how do you turn your time into money? You have to be creative in whatever you have, whatever talent that you have, whatever products that you have to sell. You have to package it in such a way that the buyer will be willing to pay money for it. Take for example, maybe you have some intellectual knowledge. You can write books. Even if it is a story book that you can write it, package it well, and let the people know that you have a book to sell. And you market it and people will buy. Even if it is elementary 6 textbooks, even if it is agri book, whatever it is that you know that you can render as a service, package it well so that people will be willing to pay money for it. This is the way you will be able to turn your time into money. Now, while an employee wakes up every morning to go to work, he works and labor, uses his time to labor for a salary. Turn your time, instead of laboring for salary, turn your time into money. When you write a book and that book is selling, you don't need to wake up every morning to go and check. All you need to do is that book is selling. So even if you are sleeping, people are buying your books. That is how you can turn your time into money. When you establish a business and that business is running, people are buying products from that business. You don't wake up every morning to go to the business. The business is running on its own. It's running seamlessly. So you have changed your narrative. Instead of waking up every morning from 8 to working from 8 to 4 o'clock or from 9 to 5 o'clock every day to earn a salary. Now you can wake up and check how the business is running, whether it is running well, whether there are issues or there are no issues. So you can wake up at your own convenient time and check how your business is moving, because already others are working for you. You are paying them. So you don't need to wake up very early in the morning and start running helter-skelter as somebody who is an employee. That is how you turn your time into money. Don't labor, don't work for your time. Don't use your time to labor for a monthly income. Use your time very well so that you can easily migrate from an employee to an employer. That is one way to do it. Then the third skill you need to learn is that how to use other people's money. We call it dump money. Now, when I wanted to start my business, I knew that it is difficult for you to borrow money from the bank and start a business because of the high interest rates that we have in this part of the world. You may not be able to meet up. So what you need to do is to plead with people that are close to you that will be able to borrow you this money, but will not add interest. Rather, they can be part of the business. That is the way to raise capital to start your business. It's a skill. It's difficult for you to go and convince somebody with an idea for the person to part with his money to support you in your own business. So it is good that you understand how to go about it. If you don't know, you ask questions so that you can be properly guided. And I try and avoid the banks if you are a beginner, because the banks will come with their own interest rates, which are very high. And most businesses, small businesses, don't start making profit in the first 1, 2, 3 years. And now if you go and borrow money with interest from the bank, it will be difficult for you to pay those interests when your business is not yet making profit. That is why you need to try and convince people, either relatives or people that believe in your dream or in the idea that you have, to bring money to be part of the business. That is the way you can raise capital to start your business. It's a skill. It is very difficult for you to go and convince somebody to part with this money to support your idea, your business idea. So it's a skill that you need to learn. You need to ask questions about it, and you need to be able to convince people to support your dream so that you'll be able to raise capital to start your business. This is one skill that I learned. So when I needed capital to start my business, I needed support. So I have to approach individuals, I have to approach those who I think that believes in me and trust in me to enable me raise funds to start. This is another skill that it is very, very good for you to learn. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel. Share these videos in your platforms, and then make your comments. Thank you.